That's weird because I thought his listenership was way, way down. Well, guess what? After we had that conversation, I was listening to one of his episodes, and he said it again. I'm up 25%.
Well, but according to who? According to who?
He said he's up 25%.
I find that very difficult to believe.
I can't. I mean, okay, if I was a Cruise Crew, Never Trump kind of guy, I would have no problem listening to him, and I wouldn't be so irritated listening to it. But those Never Trump Cruise Crew people are obviously in the minority. How do I know? Because the election results show that. If there was such a big groundswell for the Never Trump Cruise Crew, Cruz would be still in the race and leading and be the presumptive nominee.
Right.
But instead we have Trump. So obviously the numbers are low. Not super low, but they're lower than the pro-Trump people. Now, if you're a pro-Trump person, you can't listen to Glenn Beck. I suffer through it. And like every other phrase and sentence out of his mouth, I'm like, well, that wasn't true. That's a lie.
Correct.
And I'm not just saying it's a lie because I don't agree with it or I don't like it. It's a lie because it goes against what his platform says, Trump's platform, on his own website. He's constantly saying things about Trump that go directly against either stuff that he said that he's been quoted on or can be quoted directly from his website on his platform. So I'm saying this, and then the other half of the time, he's saying things that are very conservative that are echoed in Trump's platform, which causes me to say, well, then why don't you vote for Trump? Literally, like every third or fourth sentence out of his mouth, when he's talking about conservatism, I say, well, you should be voting for Trump then.
Right.
Like, that's how the whole show went.
Wow.
Yeah, like the whole show, I'm like, well, if you truly believe that, vote for Trump.
Right, because what is your alternative right now?
Well, I'm not saying settle for Trump. I'm saying if what you're saying about conservative, about the support of the Second Amendment and securing the borders and all that, just like he went on and on. He has do you know about his serials? He has a serial that comes on every single episode where he goes into, like, he goes to the bathroom and plays. It's audio. It's something he has prepared.
Right.
And it's presented in a story-like format, which is very entertaining. And so he plays it, and it's like a serial, and it's very informative, almost like a history class, but very, very entertaining. Well, this week his serial was all about immigration.
Okay.
And he goes through the entire American history of immigration.
Wow.
And he gets into a lot of detail because he only goes through a portion of it on one day. And then he says, and next episode, we'll talk about the next part of immigration. And he did this all week long. His serial was about immigration. Well, as soon as his serial's done, they comment on it briefly. Okay. All of them.
Okay.
And when he was commenting on it about immigration and how, we need to do this, we need to do that, and blah, blah, I'm sitting here thinking, then why aren't you guys voting Trump?
Hello?
It just blows my mind. These guys have lost their mind. They are insane at this point.
And the other thing that we talked about here on Smith Radio, you're listening to Smith Radio. The other thing that you just mentioned about the Second Amendment. Folks, listen. When you're up against a Never Trumper or a Cruz supporter, first and foremost, do not get into an argument. Do not fight them. Do not combat them. Do not yell at them. None of that. Okay. Direct them. If they have any questions, any issues whatsoever, direct them to Trump's website. So go look at his website. Have you looked at his website? Have you seen DonaldJTrump.com? Have you seen his website? Have you seen his points and what he's espousing? Well, I can't believe it. He's a liar. Hold it. Whoa. Everybody's got a website. Everybody's got their name out there. Everybody's got their points of view, the things they like to say. Everybody's got all those things that they're talking points, if you will. Go to his website and you'll see this. Check this out. This will blow you away, especially since being that Cruz supporters and Hillary supporters and everybody out there saying such negative things about Trump and gun control. On Trump's gun control, or pro-gun push, if you will. One, first and foremost, national reciprocity for concealed carry. What does that mean? Here's what that means. In the state of, for an example, in the state of Indiana, if you want a concealed carry permit, you go and you pay the state for it. They give it to you. You just pay them for it. In the state of Ohio, you have to pay for and take a 10-hour course on gun safety and gun stuff. I know people have gone through it, and they said that it's the most boring, most god-awful thing they have ever had to go through because it's just so mundane and you won't learn a thing. That's frustrating to hear that. Once that's done, then you pay the state of Ohio, and you make an appointment to go to your local sheriff's department or your local police department, fingerprint, pay them more money, and do all that. There's a huge process involved in getting concealed carry in Ohio. Okay. Some states are now voting the Second Amendment is your concealed carry permit.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
which is true.
Flat out.
Okay, so now I've got 3 different scenarios. Oh, sorry, and 4. If you're in D.C. or Illinois, specifically Chicago, you're not allowed a concealed carry permit. It is illegal, and you are not allowed a concealed carry permit because they won't issue you one.
Well, I think it was issued in 1776, 1789, 1792.
They're ignoring the law. So what Donald Trump has said, he is saying that the permission, if you will, to carry a concealed weapon is the Second Amendment, and it should be for all 50 states to recognize. From all 50 states, you recognize one state to another state to another state. Just like a driver's license is recognized in all states. However, a driver's license, and he makes this very clear, driver's license is not a right. A driver's license is a privilege. The right to carry, concealed carry a gun is a right and not a privilege. It is a right to carry your gun with you anywhere you want, and you should be able to. And all 50 states need to recognize all 50 states.
Well, the Supremacy Clause points that out.
Correct.
In the Constitution, which says that a state cannot make a law that supersedes the Constitution.
Right. So his second point that I just pointed out, concealed carry is a right, not a privilege. And all 50 states must recognize that. He's opposed to assault weapons bans, regardless of what you've ever heard him say in the past, whether it be he was on board with certain, and I know people like to point this out, he was on board with certain assault bans on assault rifles.
He may have been totally. He may have been totally against the Second Amendment altogether, but and he never has been. However, he certainly has said that he's for certain assault weapons bans.
And now he's saying he is opposed.
He was also pro-choice at one point.
Right.
And this is the thing that's just got all the conservatives up in arms. But what my argument is that you don't have to be a purebred, natural-born conservative in order to qualify to be a conservative Republican, constitutionalist, or whatnot.
We will hold his feet to the fire as voters, as conservatives. He's talking about this week, he came out and talked about how Jeff Sessions is going to be a key man in his cabinet. Jeff Sessions.
There you go.
Jeff Sessions has never gone and endorsed anybody for president. Jeff Sessions is extremely conservative. One of the best. I mean, if you were to put a president to the Tea Party members, it probably would be Jeff Sessions. Okay, so Jeff Sessions is on board, has been on board with Trump for a long time, and is currently advising Trump on certain policies and certain
it wouldn't
ideas
surprise
right now.
me. It would not surprise me if he had intimate involvement with the positions that are written on his website, because they are as conservative as they come.
If you want to talk about a VP, vice president,
oh, that would be something.
I mean, insane.
I'd be totally.
It would
for
blow the minds of these never Trumpers.
Yep.
It would blow the minds of the Democrats.
So
Okay.
when you listen to us and you can clearly hear that we support Trump wholeheartedly. But what you may not know, and we should probably reiterate this a lot, is that we are very conservative. And I consider myself a constitutional libertarian. And just about anything that a conservative says counts as being conservative, I am all the way to the right on those things.
Right. He also opposes expanding an expansion of background checks. Okay. Background checks are in place right now. I have been told, because I've been done a background check on me, when I go and purchase my weapon, I was told by the guy at the counter, whether it's true or not, I have no way of proving it or disproving it. He told me, as he did my background check, the background checks, one, are not saved in a government database as that they could come back to me and see that they've been doing background checks on me. That's what I was told.
I'm really glad we're talking about this. I didn't mean to interrupt you or anything like that, but you ever heard of Travis Smiley?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's on public broadcast.
NPR. Yeah,
NPR.
Yeah.
So he interviewed Katie Couric, and it was aired last night, and I watched it actually twice because it came on different channels.
Oh, I thought maybe your jaw dropped to the floor and you had to pick it back up.
It did.
Okay.
So the big thing was gun safety, and they even dropped the ball at the very end of the interview. They pointed out that using the phrase gun safety as opposed to gun control is a very important part of this.
Of course, it's an important part of it.
I can't believe they let that cat out of the bag. But anyway, they went on and on and on. Brian, you would have lost it. They went on and on and on about how there is no background checks anywhere. They kept repeating it. They said there's all these places where you can go. You can get them through the internet. You can go to gun shows. It was just nonstop. Right. And in between saying this, it's not like nonstop. In between saying this, they were like, I can't believe. And by the way, if you didn't know, Travis Smiley is a black man. And he pointed out, I thought this was interesting.
He's also racist.
Well, yeah, okay, and I'll expose that right now.
Okay.
So he kept on talking about how, blacks are being killed by guns, all right, because of gun safety. Gun safety is killing black people, right?
Whoa.
Or lack thereof.
Oh, okay.
Lack thereof, gun safety is killing black people.
So we need gun safety to tell the guns to quit firing upon black people.
He brought up smart guns. Smart guns. He thought that might help.
Oh, because normal guns are stupid.
They're so stupid and they're racist. That's why
they're killing blacks.
Yeah. Okay. So he said, I'm going to paraphrase him here because he needs to be paraphrased.
Yes.
That the reason gun control measures have never happened is because nobody cares about black people, right?
Right.
But then Sandy Hook happened. And he thought, oh, this is great. Finally, little white kids are all getting killed. That will bring the needed change that we need because people only care about white kids.
And they're upset that the white children have been killed by the guns.
Right. This is what he's thinking. He's thinking this is great because finally, now that white kids are getting killed by lack of gun safety, that certainly this will end the Second Amendment altogether. And this is exactly what he said, paraphrasing, of course. When I saw that nothing happened after all those white kids got killed, even white kids got killed, and nothing happened, I knew that this is just never going to happen.
Wow!
Yeah. And Katie Couric was like, yeah, I'm telling you. It's not even. They didn't say this, but they could. They may as well have. Which is, the Second Amendment isn't as racist as you think.
Well, and I wanted to point out real quick that when you said that they were talking about no background checks or background checks or minimal. Okay, it is your right